fuck with you. She wait gang right now. Doing thing right now. Okay, I'm gonna get money forever. Oh shit. Fuck. I'll be fucking good. Oh no. I had a typo in the. There we go. Fuck. Alright, there we go. Yeah, boy. Yo, what's up? Let me just switch the monitor over. With the range. Yo. How do I pop up the chat? Yo, can you turn the England Uruguay match? No, bro. That I would get in a lot of trouble for that. That's copyright. I can't do that. Who's your top 5 right now? Ballon d'Or. Wait, we'll talk about that because Score 90 came out with their Score 90, and I actually have some thoughts about it, so we could do that. I want to be surprised. Okay, we'll talk about this later. I think the main attraction right now is this. L Apes grade, yo, chill, bro. Bro, I just wish I could go live on TikTok. All right, we'll wait like 1 or 2 minutes and start with the. This is like my Champions League favorites tier list. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Favorites, potentially, and no. Pretty self. I'll wait like 2 minutes. In the house. Wait, can you guys not see the YouTube chat? Sporting is winning it all? No, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yo, what's up? Wait, is Denmark playing? I think Denmark might be playing. Oh, no, not yet. Are you a Barca fan? No. All right, let me check out their pod. What do you think of Raphinha injury? We could also talk about that. 5 weeks. It's 5 weeks. And he'll be missing. Let me just reload their page. He'll be missing a good amount of games. Does it not say here? He's going to be missing the UCL ties. He's going to be missing the Atleti game literally next week. Bro, this is bad for Barca because we saw how bad they were without Raphinha like in the middle of the season. So who knows? Maybe they might throw away that 4-point lead at the top of La Liga. Who knows? Obviously, I don't like to see players get injured because I think the way he got injured too is just stupid. Like playing an international friendly and you get injured like that and now you're missing a big chunk of the season. It's stupid in my opinion. But we also can't act like, I mean, Madrid could really benefit off this. That's all I'm going to say. Rashford could cook though. Yeah, but I feel like what Raphinha does, like, most importantly, is like his off the ball shit as well. Like Rashford isn't a presser. Raphinha is one of the best, like one of the players in the final third who has the best work rate in Europe. And Rashford just doesn't offer that, especially with Hansi Flick, who plays like a high line. I don't know. I think this is gonna be huge. Out of possession, in possession as well. Raphinha's just output machine. I don't know. They might throw away. And honestly, if they don't beat Atleti next weekend, if Atleti beat them, I think that that'll give Atleti such like a psychological boost for the UCL tie. So I don't know. This Raphinha injury is gonna be a big blow for Barca. I'm gonna be so honest. Low key, low volume. All right, well, let me switch up the mic. Did you hear that Courtois suffered 2 injuries? No, I didn't hear that. Real Madrid want Pedri? Bro, I want Pedri, but it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. Do you listen to Spanish artists? Yeah, I listen. For the most part, I listen to just Bad Bunny, Raul Alejandro. But, like, I'm not really tapped in like that. To be honest, as a Barca fan, even if we had Raphinha, we wouldn't win UCL. We are aiming what we're aiming for is La Liga. I mean, well, let's actually do the UCL thing right now. Actually, where am I from? My parents are from Colombia and Peru, but I live in the U.S. So yeah, let's do the UCL thing right now because I think it's interesting. Let's start off with Liverpool. No Polo. Nah, that's not Spanish artist, bro. Polo G. Hey, that's English, bro. Polo G. That 2021 playlist, bro. Polo G, Lil TJ. Let's do the UCL favorites. So let's start with Liverpool. Bro, I'm gonna say no. No, they're not winning the UCL. Like, they're going up against PSG. Let me actually bring up the bracket. They're just not going to beat PSG. And then if they beat PSG, they're not going to beat either Madrid or Bayern, I think. So, no. PSG or Liverpool is not going to win the UCL, in my opinion. I don't think they... No. I don't think so. I think they're going to... I think PSG is going to... I'm not going to say easy game, but I think PSG is going to... They're going to beat them by like 2-3 goals on aggregate. Who are you backing for the World Cup? I want Colombia to win, but I think realistically Spain are going to win it. I think England's up there as well. People are sleeping on England because like they haven't won in like 70 years or 60 years, but I think they could. You watch MLS? No, I don't. Do you think if we beat Bayern, we can win the... Absolutely. If we beat Bayern, we can win the UCL. So I think Liverpool, no. Let me know what you guys think. But Liverpool, in my opinion, no. Atleti, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. As much as I hate to say it, I don't want to see Atleti win a UCL. Fuck no. But if they beat Barca, who says they can't beat Arsenal? However, I'm still going to put them in no. I'm still going to put them in no. But potentially is like I feel like a bad like ranking because it's like they could win it. Favorites. Let's do realistic. Who's your GOAT? I think Messi's the best player of all time, but I like Ronaldo better. But fuck. Oh no. I mean, Atleti could. Actually, no. Because if they're not beating one of the big boys in the final. So actually, no, I'll say no. They could reach the final, I think, but I don't think they'd win it. Barca? Actually, wait, let me change it. Somewhat realistic. Yeah, I think Barca's potentially. Because they beat Atleti, and if they beat Atleti, Raphinha will be back for sure. And if Raphinha's back and they have all their best players, they aren't the favorites against Arsenal if they play Arsenal. But I think they could like do it. I think because it would be Arsenal It would be Emirates' second leg, I think. If Barca get a good result at the Camp Nou, I don't know. They are realistic. They are realistic for sure. But they're not favorites. They're not top 2 favorites, in my opinion. I don't think they're top 2 favorites. Arsenal are favorites. As much as we hate to say, I think Arsenal are favorites. Who's going to win, England or Uruguay? I low-key want to watch that game, but I don't know. I think I'll watch the second half. I think England's going to win. But Arsenal's a favorite for sure. They should be Sporting, who we'll talk about. And I mean, their favorites. I would back them to beat Barca if they play them in the semifinal. I'd back them to beat Atleti if they face them in the semifinals. I think Arsenal's a favorite. And then in the final, they could probably beat on any given day probably any team in the final. So I think Arsenal are definitely favorites. Bayern as well, bro. Bayern are favorites. However, hold up. No, Bayern are favorites. Bayern are favorites. And it sucks because Madrid have to play them in a week. But Bayern are favorites. Obviously, the top 2 teams in the league phase. So, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. But just the way they play, how good they are going forward, and defensively as well, they have a really good back line. I think Bayern, they're just a complete team right now. But there's always that thing of like, in the Bundesliga, you're not too sure until they play against the biggest team. So we'll see how they do against Madrid. Obviously, they're the favorites, but I don't know. There's still I still have hope that we can beat them for sure. What national team do you support? Colombia. Do you want to see Ronaldo lift the World Cup? 100%. So yeah, Bayern are favorites for sure. Bayern are favorites. Luis Diaz, Kane, Olise, Kimmich, Musiala's coming back from injury. Their backline, Upamecano, Limer. They're definitely favorites. Sporting, I'm sorry, guys. To that one guy in the chat who was saying Sporting's going to win, no, I'm sorry. No, they're not going to win. However, if they beat Arsenal, I'll put them in somewhat realistic. But they're not going to win. They're not going to win. Sporting isn't going to win. As simple as that. Sporting isn't going to win. Madrid, alongside Barca, we're in somewhat realistic. I think so. I think I'll put Barca ahead of us because I think Barca have an easier route. But yeah, we're somewhat realistic. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? I think Spain. But if Spain don't win it, I think it's between France could, because just how good they are going forward. But low key, guys, Portugal have a chance. I just don't trust their manager. I think Portugal have a chance of winning. Same with England too, because Tuchel is a demon in knockout stages. Knowing Arsenal heritage, they could lose to Sporting and bottle. Nah, Arsenal ain't bottling the Prem. Fuck no. And if they lose to Sporting, I mean, maybe, but they're still favorites, bro. They're still favorites. But for Madrid, I mean, we're always going to be in somewhat realistic, bro. It's fucking Madrid, like the best team ever in this competition. Like, obviously Madrid is going to be realistic to win. If we beat Bayern, I'm saying it right now, if we beat Bayern, we're turning into the favorites. But yeah, I mean, somewhat realistic because as well, our path to the final is just hard. Have you tried Honduran food? No, I haven't. What would you recommend me to get? Is that like pupusas in that, or is that El Salvador? I'm not sure. What would you recommend me to get? And then last but not least, we have PSG, who they're highest and somewhat realistic for sure. They're highest and somewhat realistic. Like, if they're playing at their best, I would put them damn near at favorites, to be honest. I would put them at favorites if they're playing at their best, but they've been inconsistent this season. Sopa Caracol. Morocco will reach the semis in World Cup. Baleadas. I might have to try that. Are there any like good like chain like Honduran restaurants? I think PSG, if they're playing at their best, they're probably above Bayern or above. If PSG are playing at their best, they might be number one, to be honest. But they've been kind of inconsistent. They've been inconsistent. But we saw against Chelsea, bro. They blitzed them like 8-2. So if PSG are cooking like that, then they could be favorites. But that's my list. Let me know what you guys think about the list. I think this list is pretty good. I think I got it in order as well, like spot on. You think that Raphinha is injured now? Madrid can take the first. I think so. PSG is the best. Bro, this season they haven't been the best. I don't think so. But I think a lot of you guys want to talk about this. The Ballon d'Or ranking from Score 90. And just like my opinion on it as well. Do they have like the thread where they show like... Okay, no, they don't have the 6th place. Because I saw on Instagram, 6th place was... actually, let me... Fuck. Okay. Hold up. My fault. How do I... The fuck? Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, no, this ranking, I'm gonna be so honest. This ranking, I don't agree with. I don't agree with many things on this ranking. First of all, guys, how is Olise 3rd? That's the first one that jumps out to me. How the fuck is Olise 3rd? Now look, I'm not gonna act like I watch every Bayern game, and I know he cooked against Atalanta, and he plays for France, which is one of the favorites for the World Cup. But you're telling me that Olise is above Kane? I don't think so. Like, I'm not sure. Now, you guys might think I'm smoking dick, but I actually think Lamine Yamal being first isn't crazy at all. Especially if we consider 2026. Because Mbappe, let's be honest, Mbappe in 2026 hasn't been the best. He's been injured, and even when he was playing, I didn't think he was playing at his best. So it makes sense. Logistically, it makes sense if Mbappe went down in the ranking. In my opinion, it does make sense because he's been injured and he hasn't been playing at his best. Now, he's probably going to go up once he's fit again, but it makes sense why he went down. I want you guys to understand that. It does make sense why he went down. And Lamine Yamal going up to first, there's two things you got to keep in mind with this, right? First of all, Lamine Yamal is playing for the favorites to win the World Cup. So when they make this ranking, that's why Olise is up to 3rd place, because he plays for France, which is one of the favorites, and Lamine Yamal plays for Spain, which in my opinion is the favorite. They won the Euros, all that stuff, right? So it does make sense. On top of that, especially from January to February, and even like I think at the start of March, Lamine Yamal was he was cooking. He had a hat-trick against Villarreal. He played good against Atleti in the second leg, and again, another thing with Lamine is the PR, which we can't, even Barca fans will tell you that Lamine Yamal's PR is the best in football, right? Anything he does gets glazed a bit more than it should, but at the same time, we can't just lie to ourselves and say that Lamine Yamal isn't one of the best players in the world. He obviously is, right? You can say he doesn't perform in the biggest games. He doesn't. Sometimes, especially this season. Last season, he was one of maybe the biggest big game performer in the world, maybe besides like Raphinha. But Lamine Yamal is still one of the best players in the world, like undeniably. Now, does he deserve number 1? I think if we're going off how Score 90 like logically make these rankings, I think it does make sense. The meat cannot be this good. Bro, I'm just being honest. Because where would you want him? Tell me where you want him. Tell me where you would want Lamine Yamal. Because he can't be outside the top 3. Absolutely not. And if you look at the names here, he can't be below Olise, who he's been better this season than Olise. He's a better player than Olise. He plays in a team that's much more favored to win the World Cup than Olise. Now, Kane dropping down does make sense. He's been injured. Bro, Kane dropping down is the exact same thing of why Mbappe dropped down. Because they were injured. They've been injured for the last month, 2 months. and they didn't play in like the Kane didn't play against Atalanta, and Mbappe, or he played the second leg against Atalanta, and Mbappe didn't play against City. So it makes sense. You know what they say, availability is the best ability, and it makes sense why they both went down. Rice fifth is, I mean, if they're gonna prop up one player from Arsenal, I guess Rice is in that list. It can't be Saka. It'd have to be like Rice, Gabriel, or maybe even Saliba. But fifth is just like, has Rice really been the fifth best player in the world this year? I'm not sure. I don't think he has been, right? But they're looking at what he's going to win. And what Rice is going to win is a Prem. He's most likely going to win, and I don't know about most likely, but he could win a FA Cup. He could win the UCL. His team is a top 2 favorite for the UCL, and his national team is a top 3 favorite for the World Cup. So I think that's why they have Rice so high. Now, if England win the World Cup, best believe Rice is going to finish top 5. If England win the World Cup, Rice is finishing in that top 5, because we saw what happened with Vitinha this year. He finished 3rd place for winning the sextuple with PSG, on top of winning the Nations League with Portugal. If Rice wins the World Cup with England, it's actually over. We're gonna see Rice in some all-timer debates that he doesn't deserve to be in. But just because he won a World Cup with England for the first time in 60 years, he's gonna be in those debates, and you can't really say anything that bad about it. Valverde should 100% be in the top 5 currently. Yes, but no, because if we're going Valverde off of like just February and March, he would be. But these rankings are accumulated from like August to March. So Valverde from August to like November, December wasn't very good. He's been good ever since 2026. So I think I hear what you're saying, but this is like progression of the whole season. If it was based off 2026, I'll tell you this right now, Kylian Mbappe would probably not even be in the top 4. But it's accumulated from how they did the start of the season, and Valverde wasn't that good at the start of the season. Just like I could also say, Vinny right now should be in the top 5 because he's been arguably like a top 3 player in the world in 2026. But he's not in the top 5 because he started the season like kind of mid. You know what I mean? What about Luis Diaz? I'm pretty sure he slowed down a bit in the Bundesliga. Do they have like the full list? I'm not sure they have the full list. They don't have the full list. I think Luis Diaz is probably top 10. Arsenal fans will compare Rice to guys like... Yeah, no, they will. Especially because Arsenal fans are just like a bit deluded in the head too. They'll compare him to like... But what they're going to say is Rice, hypothetically, if Rice wins the World Cup... if Rice wins the World Cup, that's something that he has over like every other English midfielder in the modern era. So that would suck. That would really suck. Bruno should be top 10. Bruno should 100%. Honestly, guys, if we're doing off just individual performances, Bruno should be top 5. Because Bruno's been good. Even when Emre was manager, Bruno was still good. Once Carrick came in, Bruno leveled up, but he was still good. So if you're going consistency throughout the whole season, Bruno could very well be up here. But the only issue with Bruno is that he's not really contending for a trophy. He's going to get top 3 in the Prem. That's not a trophy. He's not contending for any other trophy with United. And in the World Cup, you could say Portugal is one of the favorites, but at the same time, they're not like a Spain type favorite. Or in the media, they're not a France or England type favorite. So I think that's why Bruno isn't here. Where's Haaland? Bro, Haaland has been shit in 2026. For the last 3 months, Haaland has been a ghost. So that one makes sense to me. Haaland shouldn't even be sniffing this top 5. I want to see if where's like they don't have their full list. Maybe they do on their website. Let me search it up. Because I saw the complete ranking on Instagram. I'm trying to find it. They don't have it. Okay, fuck. Never mind. Portugal has a better team than Spain. Yeah, Portugal definitely has like a better pound for pound team than Spain in my opinion. But The thing with Portugal is that their manager kind of sucks. Like Roberto Martinez, do you guys really see him winning a World Cup? Really? Like, I don't know. I think he's kind of a bum, in my opinion. I think if they were, bro, you know what? Portugal should have went out and just contacted Zidane. I don't think he would have taken it, but at least try. Because imagine Zidane, Ronaldo running it back in 2026. They could win. But Roberto Martinez, I think Portugal have the individual quality to win. Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, João Neves, Bruno, on top of Ronaldo, who's still going to score. Like, Portugal could. Not even kinda, 100% he does. He not winning La Liga. Bro, I'm going to tell you guys this right now because someone just asked me, who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or? I think, in my personal opinion, I think Lamine Yamal has the highest probability of winning the Ballon d'Or this year. As annoying as it might sound to some of you, as much as you guys don't want to see it, I think Lamine Yamal, regardless of what this list says, because Lamine Yamal could be third, I'd still say the same thing. I think Lamine Yamal has the highest chance of winning the Ballon d'Or. In my opinion, from how I predict the season to go, from like just using my brain, not using like my heart or like what I want to happen, I think Lamine is going to win the Ballon d'Or. I think so. Because with Spain, they're the favorites. I see Spain winning the World Cup. I think they're the best team right now. That's the only reason. Because if this was just any regular season, just where it's only club performances, Lamine Yamal wouldn't win the Ballon d'Or. Because they're not going to win the UCL. At most, all they're going to win is La Liga. That's it. So he wouldn't win a Ballon d'Or because of that. But if we're factoring in the World Cup, I think it's going to be Spain. That's who I think. But on the flip side, if Mbappe wins the World Cup, you already know if he wins the World Cup, he's going to score at least like 5 or 6 goals. Probably like 7 or 8. If Mbappe wins the World Cup with France, he's 100% going to win the Ballon d'Or. Because right now, if Bayern, let's just say for argument's sake, if Bayern win the UCL, their front runner will be Kane to win the Ballon d'Or. But if France win the World Cup, they're going to look at France's team. They're going to look at Mbappe. They're going to be like, okay, Mbappe won the Ballon d'Or. He was most definitely a great performer in the World Cup. We have to give him the Ballon d'Or. That's how it's going to go. The winner of the World Cup is going to win the Ballon d'Or. Unless it's like Morocco, right? Because Morocco don't really have, maybe Hakimi actually. But you know what I mean? Unless it's like a dark horse to win the World Cup. If it's not a dark horse to win, if it's like a big nation, like, actually no, if it's Portugal, they wouldn't give it to Ronaldo because Ronaldo's playing in Saudi. If Portugal win, let's just say Portugal win, they'd give it to like whoever won the UCL. But if either England, France, or Spain win it, their front runners are going to win the Ballon d'Or. If Spain win it, Lamine Yamal is going to win it. If France win it, Mbappe is going to win it. If England win it, it's going to be between Rice and Kane. It just depends who did better in the UCL. That's how these awards work. Sorry to like burst your bubble if you didn't want to see Lamine Yamal win it. But if he wins the World Cup, best believe he's going to be winning his first Ballon d'Or at the age of 19, which is what a lot of you guys don't want to see. But I think it's what's going to happen. I think so. How do we tell this to Papa Perez? We Madridistas. Bro, I don't want Rodri at Madrid. Fuck no. No. If Rodri comes to Madrid, bro, just imagine the toxicity in the dressing room. What do you mean? If Bayern win the UCL and France win the World Cup, wouldn't it be Olise? I don't think so. I actually don't think so because he's not like, one, he doesn't have the PR behind him. And two, he wouldn't be the best player for either team. Maybe Bayern in the UCL because I've always said it. I think Kane always disappears in the biggest games. So I think if Bayern were to win the UCL, Olise would be one of the main players to step up. But he's not going to be the best player in France. The best player in France is going to be Mbappe. Do you like Lamine? No, I don't like Lamine more than Mbappe. No. Don't get that twisted. I don't like Lamine Yamal more than Mbappe. But I think that I'm just saying what I think. I just think Lamine Yamal has a higher chance of winning the Ballon d'Or than Mbappe. Hey, what's up, Ken? What about Brazil? What about Vinny? If Brazil reaches like the semifinals or quarterfinals, Brazil reaching the quarterfinals or semifinals wouldn't really mean that much. I think if Brazil win the World Cup, that's true though. If Brazil win the World Cup, I still don't think Vinny would win it. Because you know why I think that? And we saw perfect proof in the 2024 Ballon d'Or. Would Vinny maybe deserve it? Probably, because if Brazil win, then Vinny would have to be one of their best players, obviously. But we know how the Ballon d'Or works. We know how France football feel about Vinny, especially after we boycotted the Ballon d'Or in 2024. They wouldn't give it to Vinny because their criteria, right? Their stupid criteria, fair play, class and fair play. Nobody gives a fuck about that. No fans give a fuck about it. But those journalists who choose the players to win the Ballon d'Or, they care about it. And Vinny's behavior hasn't changed since 2024 to 2026. Now, is that behavior bad? I don't think it's that bad. I think it's like a normal player behavior. He's just a little bit more emotional. But even if Vinny deserves the Ballon d'Or, they're not going to give it to him. Vinny would have to have like an all-timer, super all-timer season, win the UCL with Madrid, with Mbappe either not playing well or being injured, and Brazil winning a World Cup for Vinny to win the Ballon d'Or. But if it's like a close race between like Vinny, Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane, Vinny isn't winning it. I don't think so. Because we've already seen how France football categorizes Vinny when it comes to the class and fair play shit. It's unfair. I think it's unfair, but that's just the truth. Who do you think will win the Golden Ball if Brazil wins World Cup? That just depends. But if it's a player from Brazil, it'd be Vinny, I think. I don't think... You guys can shit on Vinny as much as you want when it comes to like international performances with Brazil. He's not good. Yeah, Vinny with Brazil isn't the best. But he's the best they have. Right now, he's the best they have. I don't want to hear Raphinha, Cunha, João Pedro. Vinny's the better player than all those guys. And for Brazil, Raphinha's done just as much as Vinny has. So Vinny's the best hope they got. I don't think Brazil's going to win the World Cup, but if they do, Vinny would be their best player, I think. And SBR, Mbappe will win if Madrid do anything. He has more PR than Vinny now. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If Madrid win anything, the Ballon d'Or is going to go to Mbappe, unless he gets like injured for the whole season or like he just completely shits the bed in the biggest games. I think Messi will win the Ballon d'Or if Argentina. That wouldn't even be crazy to say. Best believe if Argentina win the World Cup, which isn't even like that much of like an unrealistic thing to happen. If Argentina win the World Cup, don't be surprised if in July or August, whenever it is, we see Score 90 come out with their Ballon d'Or favorites, and Messi's going to be top 3. Messi's going to be top 3. If Portugal wins the World Cup, Vitinha will win Ballon d'Or 100%. I don't know, because it also depends how he does with PSG. If they win if Portugal win the UCL plus World Cup, or Vitinha wins UCL plus World Cup, I think he's good. I think Vitinha could win it. Or Nuno Mendes. Because I'm telling you right now, Nuno Mendes, if he's fit, he's going to be one of Portugal's most important players. Just give me the UCL. Don't care who wins the Ballon d'Or. That's exactly what I'm saying. This award literally doesn't mean that much to me. If Lamine Yamal wins it, let him win it. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're a Madrid fan who just has an agenda against like, oh no, like you make it your objective to have like Lamine Yamal not win the Ballon d'Or, who gives a shit, bro? If Lamine wins it, Lamine wins it. Like, especially if he deserves it, why? Like, why would you be mad? Same with the Barca fans who in 2024 made it their goal to see Vinny not win it and paraded around it like it was like a trophy. Okay, Vinny didn't win it. He deserved it. Like, you're not going to be mad about it, obviously, but like, I don't know. To be fair, though, I can't really talk because when Dembele won the Ballon d'Or, I can't say I wasn't happy. But I was also happy because deep down in my heart, I believed and I knew that Dembele deserved it. I thought if Lamine won it, it would be unfair. Right? Like, but if I personally think Because okay, let me just get this straight, right? If Spain win if Spain win the World Cup, and Barca win the league, and Lamine Yamal is both of their best players, which he's gonna be, I would personally, genuinely think that he would deserve the Ballon d'Or, even though I'm a Madrid fan. That's the difference, right? Because some fans would see that Lamine Yamal was the best player for Barca and best player for Spain, and they still would be like, nah, he doesn't deserve it. He's a Barca player. I don't want him to win it. Now, I'm not saying you should want him to win it. It's fine with you not wanting him to win it. But deep down, you have to believe that if a player deserves an award, he should get the award. Yeah, I know. That's also why I'm saying, though, that I in some way I can't really talk. But I can, though, because I genuinely believe Dembele deserved it, right? And you guys got to realize, right, when I put on the glasses, when I put on the speaker, Ike Fue, that's just for you guys to enjoy, right? That's just for you guys to enjoy. But, like, if you believe, like, if you're a Barca fan in 2024 and deep down you believe Vinny deserved it, then, like, Vinny deserved it, you know? If Argentina wins World Cup, Messi could win Ballon d'Or, but Portugal wins World Cup. Exactly. I love that comment. Ben the Ben, 15. Ben the Ben, 15. Great comment. I love that. We know the Ronaldo and Messi PR difference, especially when it comes to France football. Like, the Messi PR difference with France football is disgusting. It's like, when Messi won it in 2023 over Holland, that's when the award lost complete credibility. I'm sorry. That's when I was like, you know what? Like, Ballon d'Or, finito. Like, it's done. Because, put this into perspective, right? Let's just search up 2023 Ballon d'Or. No. Let's just search this up, right? Where's okay, this right here, right? What happened this year? Let me just move my face cam. Let me pop up the chat again. This award right here, 2023, was the reason, or was like, when I realized this award is just, it's just Messi, the Messi award. And I'm someone who personally believes Messi's the GOAT. I think Messi's the best player to ever touch this planet, to grace the earth. I think Messi's the best. But if Messi had the season that Haaland had, winning a treble for the first time in his club's history, getting over 60 goals and assists, and Haaland won a World Cup, scoring 4 pens, 3 open play goals, and like 1 assist, they would have given that Ballon d'Or to Messi. So this award right here was like, okay, like, oh my God, this award got me heated. And this is exactly what I'm saying, though, because if Messi had the season Haaland had, and let's just say roles reversed. Let's just say roles reversed. I would have thought Messi would deserve it if he'd won a treble and had 60 goals and assists. But no, he didn't deserve this one. I don't care what you say. Haaland had a perfect season. Let's just look at this. Okay, no, the quality. Oh, no. Haaland literally had. What more could Haaland have done this year in 2023? Literally nothing. Nothing. 66 GAs. Hat-tricks against United. He won the Premier League goal scoring record in his debut season. He won everything with City. He didn't have a chance to play the World Cup because Norway aren't that good of a team. So this Ballon d'Or was just stupid. And then if we add on top of that, I'm not going to talk about that one. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. The Ballon d'Or, zero credibility. And I made a video on this back in November. The FIFA The Best Award should be more credible than the Ballon d'Or. And you guys might think I'm smoking dick. You guys might think I'm crazy. But if you go into the logistics of how the voters choose for each award, the FIFA The Best makes a lot more sense. So much more sense. First of all, FIFA The Best is voted by captains, by managers, and by the fans, and 25% of it is the media panel. Only 25%. Whereas if you look at the Ballon d'Or, 100% of it is the media panel, or if you want to call them journalists. But these so-called journalists are stupid. They don't watch the games. They just watch. They watch what they want to see, basically. The FIFA the best. It's gonna sound crazy because like no one's gonna take it seriously, but the FIFA the best genuinely has better credibility than the Ballon d'Or. But you guys aren't ready for that conversation yet. Yes, there's still probably corruption when it comes to FIFA the best because Raphinha didn't even get in the top 4, I think, in the last FIFA the best, which I thought was undeserved. I thought Raphinha should have got podium. But if you go down to like who deserves what, I think FIFA the best is just better. But it still has its issues as well. It still has its flaws. There's definitely still like they're still they're still like captain and manager bias because they're always gonna vote for Messi. But like, just if you go down to like how the awards are voted each, the FIFA the best is just a better like managed award in my opinion. I think so. And tell me why not if you disagree. But this, I just went on a whole yap of 2023. But Messi didn't deserve this shit. I'm sorry. Messi is the best player of all time. Messi has done shit that no other players can do, but he didn't deserve this Ballon d'Or. And this Ballon d'Or didn't really do anything because between 7 and 8 Ballon d'Ors, that's already the most in history. Like, what does it really change? And I'm actually going to say this right now. There should have been a point in time where Ronaldo had more Ballon d'Ors than Messi. And someone just commented, do you think Ronaldo should have won the Ballon d'Or in 2018? Yes, I do think he should have. And this perfectly segues into what I believe. Zizou is spitting facts. When Ronaldo didn't win that shit in 2018, again, it lost credibility. But, bro, 2018, I love Luka Modric. I think Modric is one of the best midfielders ever. The best Real Madrid midfielder ever. The greatest, right? But Ronaldo in 2018 was simply just better. Ronaldo in 2018 was the best player on the planet. And at this point in time, if you guys didn't know, Messi and Ronaldo were both tied at 5 Ballon d'Ors. Ronaldo had made a crazy comeback after going down 4-1 in the Ballon d'Or race. And then, if he would have won 2018, he would have had 6 Ballon d'Ors. Messi would have had 5. And I'm telling you guys this right now. On my life, on everything I love, Ronaldo didn't win this Ballon d'Or because FIFA and the FIFA the best couldn't have Ronaldo having more Ballon d'Ors than Messi at one point in time. Never again. After 2008, they were like, you know what? That's it. Ronaldo cannot have more Ballon d'Ors than Messi. It wouldn't fit the agenda. Now look, again, I'm not saying Ronaldo is better all time than Messi, but at one point in time, Ronaldo deserved more Ballon d'Ors than Messi. That's just how it is. They voted for Modric because Modric that year, yes, he had an amazing year, led Croatia to the World Cup final, was Croatia's best player, won a UCL with Real Madrid. Amazing, right? But Ronaldo was better. Ronaldo was better. What about Lewandowski? Do you think he was robbed by Messi? Funnily enough, I think 2021 isn't that much of a robbery. I think 2021 is pretty even. I think 2021 is pretty even. Because people, I'm going to say this right now. People wanted Lewa to win in 2021 because Lewa got robbed in 2020 because the Ballon d'Or ceremony, the whole Ballon d'Or got canceled because of the pandemic. But if you're being objective, Messi was Barca's best player, right? I mean, they only won Copa del Rey that year, but he was Barca's best player. And if you look at like the club season in 2021, who was really like the standout player? Who was it for club season? You could say Lewa, but Lewa in 2021 didn't win the UCL. Chelsea won the UCL, which made it hard for any players who won the UCL to be a favorite for the Ballon d'Or. In 2021, Messi won Copa del Rey, which isn't that bad, right? And he won Copa America. He got over the hump of winning Copa America in 2021, which he hadn't won an international trophy with Argentina up until that point. And in Copa America, he was the best player. Yes, I know in the final he ghosted. In the final, he was shit. But overall, if you look at the whole Copa America, Messi was class in that Copa America, right? So in 2021, I don't think it was that much of a robbery. Lewa's best year was in 2020 when he won the treble, scored 15 goals in the Champions League, Lewa should have a Ballon d'Or. I'm not saying Lewa shouldn't have a Ballon d'Or. But what I'm saying is that 2021 isn't, I wouldn't call it a robbery personally because Messi was still great. I think Messi still racked up over like 50 goals and assists. Like Messi was still really good that year. And he won Copa America, which is something he literally hadn't done. He hadn't won a trophy with Argentina ever, which was something that everyone was kind of like on him about. But he won the Copa America and no one could really say anything. I just talked about the Ballon d'Or for like 30 minutes. Oh my God. What do you think is the worst Ballon d'Or winner ever? I'm going to go off of what I've seen. Because I'm not going to talk about like Nedved in 2003. Right? I'm not going to talk about Nedved 2003. But I think it's Rodri. I think it's Rodri, honestly. On my life, I think it's Rodri. I think it's Rodri. Rodri's, in my opinion, the worst Ballon d'Or winner ever that I've seen. Post 2010s, Rodri's the worst Ballon d'Or winner. Rodri is simply the worst Ballon d'Or winner, in my opinion. Let me find a picture of it. This guy, this Haiwan, is the worst Ballon d'Or winner ever. I don't think 2019 was a robbery too. Yeah, 2019 wasn't a robbery because that was arguably prime Messi. And you already know prime Messi is the best player of all time. Rodri or Michael Owen? The thing is with Owen, I'm not going to act like I watched it in real time because I didn't. But Michael Owen was, from what I've heard and from what I've watched, was crazy in those days because he had an injury which kind of fucked him for the rest of his career. But from what I've heard, Owen was good. The best Ballon d'Or winner ever, IMO, is Benzema or... Yeah, and bro, there's compilations of Rodri just like Rodri didn't deserve it this year. Bro, on my life, I think Toni Kroos deserved it more than Rodri. Rodri this year was just like, he was just, yeah, Owen won a golden boot as a teen. Like, Owen was crazy until he got injured. But Rodri, this Ballon d'Or pisses me off so much. Not because I'm the number one Vinny Glazer on the planet. I mean, maybe that. But Rodri didn't deserve it. If there was a year to push Rodri, it would have been 2023. Because he scored a goal against Bayern in the semifinals of the UCL, scored against Inter in the final of the Champions League, and was overall his best year at an individual level. And I'll tell you guys this right now. Rodri in 2024 was not Spain's best player in the Euros. Absolutely not. They gave him, they say Rodri doesn't have PR because he doesn't use social media. He's a quiet guy. Rodri has some of the biggest PR in the world, especially in 2024. Because the only reason they gave this guy the Euros Best Player award was because he's Rodri. Because, he's a nice guy. He doesn't have social media. He's contending for the Ballon d'Or. Let's just make his case a little stronger. Give him the Euros 2024 Best Player. I'll tell you this right now. The best player in 2024 for the Euros, just the Euros, was not Rodri. You could argue it was Lamine Yamal. I don't care if I'm a Madrid fan saying it. Lamine Yamal, in my opinion, was the best player at the Euros. He had like 4 or 5 assists. He had that goal against France in the semifinal. He assisted against England in the final. Whether you like it or not, a 16-year-old Lamine Yamal was at least better than Rodri at the Euros. He was. And he was arguably the best player at the Euros. You could have also said Dani Olmo, because Dani Olmo scored in a lot of important games after Pedri went down. You could also say, I'm not going to say it. Actually, no, I will say it. You could say Carvajal was better than Rodri, because if you watch that tournament, Carvajal was very good. You could say Nico Williams is better than Rodri. You could say fucking Fabian Ruiz is better than Rodri. Rodri wasn't one of the best players at the Euros. And you know, like everything makes sense. When he got injured in the final against England, Zubimendi came in, and it looked like nothing changed. Zubimendi did just as good a job as Rodri that whole tournament. Exactly. Bro, Rodri didn't deserve this shit. Rodri just no. This is the worst Ballon. Not only because of the season, but just as a player. If you're going to talk to me that an iconic Spanish midfielder won the Ballon d'Or in 30 years' time, or let's just say I have a kid in 10 years, and when I'm talking to him about football in 20 years, I'll tell him, guess what iconic Spanish midfielder got himself a Ballon d'Or? And if they just go off how good the players were, they're never going to say Rodri. They would say Iniesta, Xavi. They wouldn't say Rodri. They just wouldn't say Rodri. Watch Spain versus Serbia. I might watch some games soon. Exactly. They wanted Rodri to win the Ballon d'Or simply because they hated Vinny. Yeah. No. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to give you a timeout. I'm going to have to give you a timeout. You can't be spamming my chat, bro. Can't be spamming. Bro, okay. You told me don't forget the Premier League PR City won the Prem that season. Guys, guess who was the Premier League player of the season that season? It wasn't Rodri. And I'll tell you this too. Rodri wasn't even nominated for the award. Phil Foden was the best Premier League player. Oh, wait, no. The 23-24 season. Phil Foden won that award. It wasn't Rodri. Rodri wasn't the best Prem player in 2024. Rodri won the Prem, but he wasn't their best player, according to the Prem. The Prem didn't even nominate him. And then in the Euros, like I said, wasn't the best player. Wasn't even close to the best player at the Euros. I can name you 5 players who were better than Rodri at the Euros, and they still gave it to him. Tell me that's not PR. That is the definition of PR. Giving someone something that they don't deserve. They only give it to him because of who he is. That's the definition of good PR. Yes, that's the definition of it. Literally, and bro, Rodri, the UCL final that Rodri scored in wasn't the year that he won the Ballon d'Or. What? Bro, if Rodri, this is another reason why I just don't want Rodri to come to Real Madrid. Call me a Vinny Glazer, a Vinny Stan all you want. This man just stole a Ballon d'Or from Vinny. And if you didn't want Vinny to win the Ballon d'Or that year, at least give it to Jude Bellingham. Rodri just didn't deserve it. At all. Rodri PR reminds me of SGA. There's a difference, bro, because SGA is one of the leading scorers in the NBA right now. He's averaging one of the most points in the NBA. His PR is a bit over the roof. Even though I don't watch NBA that much, I do know some things. SGA's PR is pretty good. But he's still one of the best players in the league. He's a top 3 player in the league, without a doubt. Bro, just imagine Vinny just walking into the dressing room and he just sees Rodri with a Ballon d'Or. If I'm Vinny, bro, I'm throwing hands. I'm throwing hands with Rodri. If he walks in, I just see his Ballon d'Or. That shit would piss me off. Exactly. Rodri right now, what Rodri is doing is he's twerking for Real Madrid. Yo, Prince Ali, what's up, bro? Yo, Prince, I've seen you play FIFA on TikTok Live. Do you want to 1v1 me on your TikTok Live? I'd be down because I don't know how to stream games on my YouTube. On God, yo, Prince Ali, bro, keep this guy in City. And after what he said about Madrid, I think City fans don't even like him. Send his ass to Saudi. I don't want him. I'd rather have fucking Angelo Stiller over Rodri. Just imagine the wages he's going to be demanding. 320K a week for 1 or 2 good years. For a guy who stole a Ballon d'Or from our players. No. Fuck no. Yeah, I know. Vinny should have won in 2024. Let's do it tomorrow on stream. I'm out of town tomorrow, bro. Fuck. I'm out of town tomorrow, and I think Sunday as well. I could probably do it during next week, but I'm out of town tomorrow. But bro, my whole just yap on Rodri, bro. This guy, he's a bum. He's a bum. Let me check what the scores right now for the games. England going into halftime 0-0 with Uruguay. Okay. Germany 2-2 Switzerland halftime. Okay. Spain 1-1 Serbia. Okay. Hold up. Oh yeah, bro. That's just those are just my thoughts on just a bit of everything. Rodri has a Ballon d'Or over Suarez and Neymar. Yeah, I mean, but I feel like that's not that good of like an argument though, because Dembele has a Ballon d'Or as well, but Dembele deserved his Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or is just an individual thing. Just like you could say Nedved has a Ballon d'Or over prime Suarez, prime Neymar. Or Cannavaro, who was a great defender but wasn't the best that year, has a Ballon d'Or over fucking like some of the best defenders ever. Okay, bet during next week. Ali, you know I won't duck. I'm telling you right now, Ali, I'll beat you 5-0. Raphinha injured. GG's, my club is finished. Yeah, you guys are cooked. Okay, guys, who do you think will win? Bro, I'm telling you this right now. Ali would be lucky to lose like 2-0. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, bro. Ali would be lucky to escape losing like 2-0. Ali, you're getting fried next week. Just watch. I'll play with one hand. In your opinion, who's the best defender of all time? Best defender of all time. I don't want to LARP, but it's probably Maldini. I didn't watch his best years, obviously, because, you know. But, like, from word on the street was that Maldini was the best of all time. So, that's what I'm going to say. I have watched, obviously, Maldini tape, but... Like, I haven't watched, like, his live games, like, you know, when they were actually happening. I'm young, bro. But from what I've seen, from what I've heard people talk about, Maldini is the best of all time when it comes to being a defender. Or Beckenbauer, if you want to go back to, like, his time. Do you think Ramos is overrated? No. Ramos is not overrated. This whole idea that Ramos is overrated, it's stupid. I don't understand it. Because Ramos has literally done it all from a just football point of view. Won like 4 UCLs, 2014, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 4 UCLs. Won a World Cup in 2010. Won the Euros 2008. Won the Euros 2012. Like, Ramos did it all. On top of that, you guys are going to say, oh, it's just silverware. Go back to, like, 90% of the teams that he won those big trophies with. He was always, like, the best defender or one of the best defenders on that team. So, Ramos has done it all. The only thing that people say is, oh, he was aggressive. He got too many red cards, which is true. He had, like, a disciplinary issue. But he was still, like, one of the best ever. Like... When people say Ramos is like, wasn't world class or something, guys, let's be serious here. Let's be serious. Plus, Ramos just has like the aura moments, which call it corny. Do you think Vinny will be Madrid top 3 of all time? Nah, I don't think so. But I think he's definitely gonna be top 10. Do you think Colombia can go pretty far in the World Cup? Yeah, but yesterday we lost against Croatia in a friendly. I was watching that game. Exactly, too. Oh, yeah, no, Piqué when it comes to ball. Yeah, that's true. Piqué was like one of the, like, obviously, like, if you're gonna be a Barca center back, you're gonna be playing out the back very well. But Ramos was also very good with his feet. Don't get it twisted. Ramos with his feet was amazing. His diagonals from the left center back position to the right wing, peak. Or down the middle. Ramos's balls over the top were really good. Ramos with his feet was very composed. But back to Colombia. If we play like we did yesterday, it's a friendly. I'm not gonna put too much thought in it. But we need to play better. Also, do you guys want to see me make like videos about Colombia? Because I feel like the reason I don't talk about it is because I don't I feel like I wouldn't get any views because it's kind of like niche. I think out of like my audience, maybe like 1,000 of them have like Colombian like heritage. You know what I mean? Damn. SBRU Colombian? Yes. Rodri is the best creative midfielder of all time. I should give you a timeout for that. On my life, Rodri can make... yeah, you're rage baiting. You're L rage bait. L rage bait. Make videos about everything, honestly. I want to. Yeah, I know. Like, we're playing France on Sunday, and I'm definitely going to make a video about that. About us versus France. What do you buy Lamine for 500 mil or Holland for... Oh, Holland for 200 mil. 500 mil, bro. No club has that. Bro, the Hazard situation was like made sense at the time though. Rodri doesn't even make sense right now. Like Hazard, we needed like someone off the left side to like spark something. Although, if you watched 18-19, even though Vinny scored like 4 goals in total, Vinny was still like one of the most like one of the biggest sparks in that team. If you watched 18-19, Vinny was still good. Even though like he was shit in front of goal, he brought excitement to the team. But Hazard still definitely made sense. Do you think Brahim or Mbappe should start against Bayern? Mbappe. I think he's gonna start. But yeah, when Colombia play France in the friendly on Sunday, I'll make a video on it. Okay, yeah, that's how I know Kalai the Priest is rage baiting, bro. Rodri, okay, bro. Militao or Rudiger or Huijsen or Militao? Ooh. Are you asking about the partnership pairing? Put this dude in a timeout. I should, bro. But Brahim low-key fired. Now look. I'm not any player FC. But from what I've observed, Real Madrid have played their best football this season with Brahim as the false 9. That's all I'm going to say. Madrid have played their best football this season when Brahim is on the pitch. Now, is Brahim scoring? Is Brahim assisting? Maybe not. But how he makes the players around him play better, him dropping deep to try to recover possession. Yeah, Brahim, we played better with Brahim. Hell no. Ryan, I'm sorry. That is a diabolical take. That is diabolical. If Mbappe wins World Cup 2026, do you think he would be better than Lionel? Fuck no. Do you think Arbeloa should stay? I want him to. Do you think Mastantuono will be able to start off the right-hand side in the future? Probably not. Why do you choose? Bro, because TikTok doesn't let me go live. Yeah. They don't let me go live. TikTok doesn't like me very much. Let's just say that. I think we should play Vinny and Mbappe as the 2 false 9s. I don't know. Militao, Rudiger, or Huijsen or Militao? Which duo? As of right now, Rudiger and Huijsen. There's no reason to like replace them, to be honest, right now. If Vinny wins the UCL, he will be the best Brazilian of all time. No. I'm sorry, no. No. Can you tell me who should win the Premier League PFA award this season? Bruno. Bruno should win it. Bruno Fernandes should be crowned as the Premier League best player this season. I think so. Yeah, I can only guess on my alt. That's as much as TikTok lets me do. Do you think Xabi Alonso would cook at Liverpool? Yes, I think he would. He'd cook way more than Arne Slot. Because right now what Arne Slot is doing, he's burning the kitchen down. I think Alonso would cook up there. Hot take, not really a hot take. Vinny clears 100%. Neymar or Vinny already clears so many players' UCL career. It's not even a joke. You could argue Vinny's a top 5 player in the UCL already. Like you could very much argue that. Where would you rank? Where would Vinny rank if he wins his third UCL? Wow, where would he rank all time? I'm not sure, but in the UCL, he would definitely get into the top 3. If Vinny wins another UCL, there's going to be some uncomfortable conversations. That's all I'm going to say. Raphinha with the injury out for a month. How will it affect Barca? It's going to affect them a lot. I think that has boosted Atleti's chances a lot. Do you rate Militao? Do you may want to see him at Madrid in the future? I think Militao's our best defender. But if we're going off like merit and who deserves to start right now, it's still Housen and Rudiger because they haven't done anything wrong to merit them being benched for Militao, who's just coming back from injury. Ooh. But bro, now back to if Vinny wins the UCL. Guys, if Vinny wins the UCL, just get ready for Vinny top 20 or top 15, top 20 all time. Top 15, top 20. I don't know. That's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. But I saw a tweet today. Where it was like, Vinny's a hard player to rank, like all time, because in the UCL, he's all timer, obviously. In La Liga, they said he was decent. I think in La Liga, he's good. I don't think he's amazing, but I think he's good in La Liga, or great even. And then internationally, he's not good. Let's just say it as it is. He's not good internationally. So it's hard to rank him because when it comes to like ranking players highly in footy, it just all matters. Like a lot of it like internationally matters. A lot of it matters like what they do internationally. Ronaldo, even if Ronaldo hasn't won a World Cup, he's still like has 100 goals for Portugal. So he's going to be in there. And he's fucking Ronaldo. He has like 1,000 goals, right? But like for a player like Vinny, who like, if he starts doing good with Brazil, I'm sorry, Vinny ain't touching top 5 and not even top 10 UCL players there. Brother. You're telling me Vinny isn't a top 10 player all time in the UCL? You're telling me Vinny isn't a top... Bro. Let me tell you something. Tell me besides Vinny, how many other players have 30 goals and 30 assists in the UCL combined? Tell me. Do you think the only reason Vinny's not doing good internationally is because they have a new manager and new players? Now, but Vinny's really never been that good for Brazil. He's never been that good for Brazil. He still has time to change, though. He's like 25. You're telling me a player who's 30 and 30 in the UCL, has 2 UCL final goals, has basically scored or assisted in every single UCL knockout tie he's played in, besides Atleti in 2025 and Chelsea in 2021. You're telling me that player isn't top 10 all time. My brother, I don't know what you're smoking. But it can't be good for you. Players having more UCLs than Vinny doesn't matter. So by that logic, you're telling me Lucas Vazquez is a better UCL player than Vinny because he's won more. Come on, be serious now. You're telling me, I hate to do it, but like Varane is a better UCL player than Vinny because he's won it more. Yeah, okay. Realistically, you should have the highest if you played them that many rounds in the last 7 years. Let me tell you why he's played that many rounds in the last 7 years. Because he's so good that he single-handedly has won us games, which is the reason he plays more games. Think of it that way, right? The players who play the most games are the best of all time. Ronaldo has played some of the most games of all time. Why? Because he scored goals, which allows his team to advance further in the rounds. That's why he plays more games. Same with Messi. Same with Lewa. These guys score goals, which helps their team play more games. I love Vinny, but he can't. You got me. On God, you got me. Yeah, that rage bait was good. 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 I love Vinny, but he can't play like that in La Liga or with Brazil. Yeah, but let me ask you something. Would you rather Vinny play really good in La Liga and Brazil, but not do the best in the UCL, or how he's playing right now? Because I'm telling you right now, the UCL is the most important competition that I'm rooting Vinny to win. If Vinny wins the World Cup, cool. I'd love that for Vinny. But as a Madrid fan, I want Vinny to perform in the best competition for Madrid, and that's the UCL. Bro, I get that you love Vinny, and I rate him the highest in Madrid as a culé, but there are players like Maldini, Kroos, Modric, Ronaldo, Messi, Iniesta, Benzema, Ramos. Okay, let's just go through that list. Maldini, Kroos, Modric, Ronaldo, Benzema, Iniesta. Thing is, out of that list you just mentioned, the only players who you can comfortably say are better than Vinny in this competition are Messi, Ronaldo, and Benzema. And even Benzema is a better player than Vinny in this competition. But Vinny's getting close. Hot take, Rodri will probably not start over Zubimendi. Rodri's going to start over Zubimendi in the World Cup if he's fit. If Lamine Yamal wins the World Cup, he's the best Spanish player of all time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not yet, but Lamin's going to retire. If Lamine keeps on going how he is, he's going to retire as the best Spanish player of all time. Not yet, though. Not yet. Not yet. I know it's unrealistic, but I'd love to see Mainu at Madrid because he's still young and really good. I know, I love Mainu. Mainu's one of my favorite non-Real Madrid players. I thought Mainu in the 23-24 season was unbelievable. But I feel like we already have, like... Mainu's a great player, but he's not like a dictator of play like we need. He's not someone who can, like, control games like that. He's very silky and nice on the ball. But he's not someone who can, like, control games who you would want to have behind the midfield. Do you think Thiago Pitarch will become a starter for Real Madrid? I don't think so. I like Thiago Pitarch, but I just think his competition right now is too high. Saka 23 and 24 clears prime Vinny. Saka before his hamstring injury was the best. Okay. What do you think about Thiago Pitarch? I think he's really good. I want to see Dictator Mbappe lift the UCL. Me too. Like, I've said shit about Mbappe, right? I've criticized Mbappe, but obviously I want to see him win a UCL when he's playing at Madrid, right? If he's not, I couldn't care less. But if he's playing at Madrid, I want to see him win it. Lamine's playing style won't last him his whole career. I agree with that. Because he's playing so many minutes early on. He's been playing regularly since he was 16. But let's just think of it like this, though, right? Let's just think of it like this. Even if Lamine Yamal retires by 30, I hate to glaze Lamine Yamal in front of you guys, but even if Lamine Yamal retires by 30, he's still going to have achieved so much where he's going to be in a lot of all-timer conversations. Because he's, bro, yeah, what's up, VJ? You can ask me a question. Because, bro, Lamine Yamal, he's going to be, he's going to have played, if he retires by 30, he'll have been playing for 14 years at the top level. In 14 years, you can achieve a lot. In those 14 years, I can guarantee you, he's going to have won a couple Ballon d'Ors at the very least. He's going to have won a World Cup with Spain, I'm assuming. And with Barca, as much as we hate to say, there's a good chance he would have won a UCL. I don't think he retires the GOAT, but I think he'll retire very high all time. Bro, Lamine is like... Mbappe will win both La Liga, UCL, and World Cup this season. Yeah, I hope. Watch Saka lift the UCL before Mbappe. That would be crazy. Damn, we have 62 people in here? That's crazy. Yo, subscribe. Yo, right now we have the most amount of people subscribe, like the live. Mbappe 10x Yamal is greater than 10x Yamal. Not right now. All-timer, yeah, but not right now. Who do you have winning the World Cup? Spain. The 6th UCL is coming in 2050 for Barca? I hope so. Who do you think will... who do you think Madrid should bench in the midfield? Because there's 4 spots. I think Madrid should start Fede, Jude, Tchouaméni, and I'm missing someone. Thing is, I'm not going to say... You guys are going to hate me, but out of that right now, he's not going to work that well with Jude. Can we donate to you, bro? No, because YouTube doesn't let people donate to me until I'm monetized. And I'm going to get monetized very soon, but you guys can't donate to me until that happens. A Madrid fan to Madrid fan, do you get that uncomfortable sensation thing when Mbappé returns to his newly awoken Madrid? Okay, let me be honest here. Mbappé returning is a good thing. He's the best player in the world when he's playing at his best. But let's not sit here and act like Mbappé is like it's not going to change the dynamic of the team, because it is. He's going to change the dynamic of the team without any questions. Like, this isn't FIFA where you can just plug a player in and like your team is going to be playing the same or better, right? He's going to change the dynamic of the team. And we've played our best football this season without Mbappé, in my opinion. I think we've played our best football when Brahim has played, or even when Gonzalo Garcia played against Betis 5-0. That's my opinion. So, is it crazy to say that when Mbappé comes back, we're going to not be playing as good as we were before? That is not crazy to say whatsoever. It is not crazy to say. Because like I said, this isn't FIFA. You can't just plug and play and just hope for the best. The team plays better. Every player, with Mbappé performs the best when he's playing, obviously. He scores the most goals, and he becomes the best player in the world. What's up, Nickelfish? But as a collective, as a collective unit, other players around the team perform better, have performed better this season when Mbappé has been out with an injury. Thoughts on my super heated debate with Guap yesterday, since you're talking about that? Yo, Prince Ali, bro. Guap, I love Guap. I love you and Guap both a lot. Obviously, you guys are my friends. I love you guys. But on this particular matter, I side with you, because I feel like when Guap talks about Mbappé and Madrid, I don't know. It's like, from my point of view, Madrid have played better this season without Mbappé. I believe that 100%. We've played our best football from February to March. And into March as well, we've played some of our best football. And in those months, Mbappé hasn't really been playing. But what Prince Ali was saying yesterday was that Mbappé hurts Madrid. And what Guap was saying, that Mbappé makes Madrid better. And that Mbappé is Madrid's best player. He carries Madrid. Which I disagree with. I think Mbappé doesn't carry Madrid. He doesn't. Mbappé doesn't carry Madrid. Because there was an argument when Mbappé was playing saying that, oh, if Mbappé doesn't play, Madrid don't score. And that got very, very much or very easily disproven when Mbappé went down with injuries. 5-0 against Betis. 4-1 against Real Sociedad. 3-0 against City. 2-1 against City at the Etihad. So, guys, it's not that hard to think about it. When you have Mbappé, the team is looking for him to score. So he's going to get the bulk of the goals. But when Mbappé isn't playing, here's what happens. The goals spread out. It's kind of like it's a triangle and a square. When it's a triangle, the focal point is the top. But when it's a square, it's all 4 corners. You know what I'm saying? That was a very good analogy. That's a good analogy. When it's a square, every corner eats. But when it's a triangle, that top corner eats. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I hope Prince Ali is still in the chat. And when I say this, I'm not being Vinny FC. I'm being a Real Madrid fan because I'm being objective. What I'm seeing with my eyes is telling me that this team has played their best football without Kylian Mbappé. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I won't change the starting lineup right now. Facts. If I was the manager of Real Madrid, obviously, Florentino's going to give you a call if you bench Mbappe, if you bench Jude Bellingham. But you can't, why would you fix it if it ain't broken? You know what I mean? We're not being Vinny FC for that. We're being Objective FC. And Vinny FC is calling Mbappe the dictator. Madrid play worse without him or with Mbappe. But it's not only Madrid fans saying that. If you look around social media, if you look around YouTube, TikTok, there's people who aren't Madrid fans, who are Premier League fans, genuinely implying that Real Madrid have played their best football without Mbappe this season. So it's not just Vinny FC. Vinny FC and Mbappe FC is stupid. We're all Madrid fans at the end of the day. But we have to be honest. I agree with you. It won't be wrong to say we have the best squad in the world on paper. Hence, was the best pick on the FC games. Is there a formation to use Jude as a false 9 that could cook? I was actually, you guys probably know I'm so Madrid on TikTok, but he put up a formation that I really liked. It was the 4-1-2-1-2 diamond. Actually, I'll bring it up right now. I'll bring it up right now. I'll bring it up right now. And I really like this idea. I really liked it a lot. So let me start. Goalkeeper, obviously. Let's do Lunin, actually, because Courtois is currently injured. Center back, Rudy. Housen. Exactly. Yeah, that's the problem, though. Because if Mbappe gets benched, Florentino's going to make a call and be like, hey, Mbappe, he's the franchise player. He's the player who's always on the face of the newspaper. He's gonna have to play. You can't have him on the bench. Which that you can think of that what you will, right? Let's keep doing the lineup. So the back line's pretty obvious. Trent. Fuck. God damn it. Trent. On the left side, honestly, right now it's Fran Garcia. Crazy how times have changed. Crazy how times have changed. Carreras hasn't sniffed too much of the pitch ever since Fran Garcia came in. Ever since Arbeloa came in. Midfield, this is the interesting part. Because let's just put Vinny and Mbappe up top. Because as we all know, Arbeloa isn't going to bench Mbappe. Let's just do this. Hold on now. And this, I've thought about this before, but I'm so Madrid posted on his story, and I really agreed with it. So let's just put Fede right here for now. Yo, what's up, Avi? Hold on. Chouameni. God damn it. Jude. And let's just say Pitarch. Although I'm probably forgetting. Let me just look at FootMob right now to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. Let me just look. It's not gonna be Camavinga. Let me just make sure right now. Squad. Jude, Pitarch, Goulard, Brahim. Okay, yeah. I'm not forgetting anyone. Okay, hear me out though. Here's the big switch. Let me make the face cam smaller so I don't cover Lunin. Here's the big switch. Tchouaméni, right here. Bellingham, right here. Pitarch, right here. Fede Valverde, crashing the box. Absolute cinema. This right here could be a solution. This could be a solution. But if you want to take out Jude, perfectly fine. You have Arda Güler. Perfectly fine. Because this is exactly why I think this could actually work. And it's something that we have never explored before. Yes, that's true. The only problem is that Fede needs to help Trent. Which 100%. That's a big problem. But But here's the thing, guys. We've seen, guys, because when I put Fede here, I don't mean Fede would just be right behind the strikers. I mean Fede would be here, Fede would be here, Fede would also be down the middle, Fede would track back. Guys, we know Fede. Fede has like 30 fucking lungs. Fede can run all over the pitch. What I'm saying, though, is that... Hear me out, though. Fede as this... don't think of this more as... Think of this more as Fede free roam than Fede as our number 10. Think of it like that. Fede is a free roam player. Fede goes wherever the fuck he wants, right? Fede is like the Joker. He's the wild card. Fede goes here, Fede goes here. But why I'm putting Fede here is because we know with Kylian Mbappe loves to drop deep and receive the ball. And we've seen when Mbappe we've seen with Fede, when Brahim has played, Fede is making a lot of runs in behind in these areas. Watch the game against City. Runs down here, runs here, runs here. You know what I mean? So Fede, this could really work. I think so. Because in the final third, the biggest problem has been no one making runs in behind, no one positioning themselves in the box but Fede is doing that without Mbappe. Fede has been doing that now with when Brahim has played. Because Brahim isn't a 9, and neither is Vinny. So who's the guy chipping in with goals? We've seen Fede has the most goals when Mbappe has been benched alongside Vinny. Because Fede is getting into more attacking positions, making runs in behind, getting in the box. But at the same time, too, with Fede, he's kind of like helping on the right side as well. I did see someone say that Mbappe could Fede could get hurt doing that, which it is true. We'd have to manage him very well. But Fede, this is where his role should be. And the reason I have someone like Thiago Pitarch in this is because Pitarch, we haven't seen him control games like we want him to, because I think I personally think that Arbeloa is kind of misprofiling him, if that makes sense. I think Pitarch needs to get more touches on the ball. But we need someone who can control games. I think Pitarch can do that to a certain level, which we need. That's why he's a must. This is why I think it's between Arda and Jude in this position. So this is what I mean. Mbappe would drop into positions like right here, but it's going to be Fede making these types of runs in here. This is kind of how it would be sometimes. I think that's my vision. A lot of our problems would be solved if we sold Mbappe. Hey. I don't know. You said it, bro, not me. You said it. Bro, not me. You said it. Brave soul. Because there aren't that many people in the chat, but if there were a lot of people, you might get flamed. But I know where you're coming from. And I can't say I fully disagree, if you know what I mean. But, Rao, I want you to say in the chat right now, why do you think that's the case? And I want to see if we're on the same wavelength. Yo, SBR, where are you from, boss? I live in America. My parents are from Colombia and Peru. Trent's defense is not that bad, to be honest. It's not that bad, but he's like unaware sometimes. He loses concentration. I think Trent loses concentration sometimes. Rao, put in the chat. Or Rao Christian. Put in the chat. Should Jude be up front so Fede is closer with... Yeah, but Jude's just coming back from injury. And I feel like we kind of need Jude like in the midfield as the legs. Reach Rodrigo's to Madrid. I'm sorry, bro. Genuinely, how is Song and Mbappe going to fix the problems with our medical staff and the board? Bro, Christian. Type out why, bro. Type out your solution. Type out your solutions. I want to see what you're thinking. I want to see that. That's interesting. You think Trent should play center mid? No. No. I think he's just fine here. Because what the thing about Trent is that when he's playing on the right, the diagonals to Vinny or Mbappe who are drifting off the left, I think so. Imagine Saka on the right. I don't want to imagine that. Only reason to sell Mbappe is because he doesn't pass the ball, and it's like, it's always been in Madrid. He's the person who can header in the ball. Hakimi would never land though. Bro needs to collab with Chromo or Box to Box. Bro, they're too big for me. They're too Hollywood. I think Fede should be the legs. But bro, Fede, guys, let's not lie here. Fede right now has been in the best form he's been in Real Madrid. So why switch him? Fede right now has been fucking amazing, making runs in behind, finishing. I would sell Mbappe for 4 at Wendy's because that prick is lazy. And the others see that and also followed being lazy. So we would actually have one less player pressing. Okay, I thought you were actually going to go into like more in depth of like the solutions we could have of like buying players with the money. Who would replace Mbappe in the lineup? 4 at Wendy's. I mean, right now, if you ask me personally, would I sell Mbappe for lifetime free eats at Chipotle? I'd really consider it. I think I would take the Chipotle. Why can't we take out Goulet and have Jude and Fede roaming? That's true. We could do that. There's a lot of options with this midfield, but I think Pitarch has to play. Is Thiago a good left center mid? Thiago's, when I put left center mid, right center mid, it's like they just drift around. Do you think Jude will be back in his prime? I hope so. We need him to be back in his prime. Actually, no, that Chipotle reference was kind of stupid because that's basically free food for the rest of your life. Okay, no. How about this? Would you sell Kylian Mbappe for a year straight of free Chipotle? Would you do it? I love Chipotle. That's all I'm going to say. You have to admit, Saka's better than that washed Rodrigo. Bro. Kalai, I'm telling you right now, I'd rather have Rodrigo playing on one knee than Saka. Loki kind of start hitting Kroos for abandoning us? No, bro. Fuck no. Hell no. Toni Kroos left at the top. That is so respectable. That is so respectable. Christian, what food would you take though? Because maybe you're not a Chipotle guy. Maybe you like Chick-fil-A. Maybe you like McDonald's, Five Guys, Dunkin' Donuts maybe. I don't know. Who do we need this from the summer? A controlling midfielder. And more depth in the center back position. I get that Fede is in good form, but in my opinion, Fede plays his best off the right. Bro, but Fede is in the best form of his life right now. Like, this is a prime Fede we're seeing. This is a prime Fede. Running in behind in the box, but also doing everything. Because when I say Fede should be here, like I said, Fede could be here. Fede could be here. Bro, Fede has the most... Bro, Fede is a workhorse. Free golden crab for a year. Hating Tony and Seo Perez for not replacing him SMH. Exactly. Exactly. This whole dilemma of our midfield. Who's responsible for that? Fuck no, not Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos retired. That's not his fault. He felt like he'd done enough. It's Perez's fault for not replacing him. Simple as. Simple as. Simple as. What about 3-back formation where Chamani still plays like a CDM, Trent Curtis? We could do that. But a 3-back formation might kind of switch up the attack. Because I feel like a 3-back formation should always have like a focal point up top. Like a real 9, you know? Like, look at Inter last year. Thuram, the hold-up with Lautaro. Look at fucking Xabi Alonso, Leverkusen, Boniface. Do you think we have a chance in the Champions League? Yes. I get that Fede in his prime, but I know, but I'm not saying that Fede would do everyone's job on the pitch. I'm just saying that Fede would kind of be free roam. How do you feel if the club brought in Keith Smith and do you think he's better than Thiago? I think Keith Smith would be a waste of money, genuinely. Who's your top 5 all time? Messi, Ronaldo. I'm a LARP and say Pelé, Maradona, and you know the fifth is always tough. The fifth is just whoever you ask. Honestly, the fifth is just goes down to preference. You could say Zizou, Cruyff. You could LARP about Cruyff. You could say one of the Barca midfielders. You could say Di Stefano. Do you prefer healthy Jude or healthy Arda? Healthy Jude, 100%. Not even a question, brother. Healthy Jude is the best midfielder in the world. Bro, Keith Smith, yo, Raw Christian thinks just like me, bro. That's my twin. Farmers League World Cups. What about Saka in your top 5? No, Saka not even top 500. I get your lineup. I'm not gonna lie, Fangirl. I don't think that's your name, but this is how we should line up against Bayern, in my opinion, or something similar to this. We're about to hit 100 minutes streaming, which is probably the longest I've ever done. I'm probably going to end it there because I'm kind of tired. My voice kind of hurts. And I kind of want to watch the end of like the international games right now. If Arbeloa was the manager at the start of the season, we would win at least one trophy? Yeah, I think so. But we can't also lie here. We can't also lie. Arbeloa was the manager who got us knocked out of the Copa del Rey. And at one point with Arbeloa, I believe we had a lead over Barcelona. I think we did. And he kind of... I'm not going to say he threw it away because I truly believe the game against Getafe was the player's fault and the game against Osasuna was also the player's fault. But he's been in situations where he could be leading. Why Fran Garcia and Seth Carreras? Bro, from what I've seen, Arbeloa likes Fran Garcia a lot. From what I've seen. Copa del Rey was not his fault. Yeah, no. I don't think any of the games he lost were his fault. But him or Xabi being in, I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference. Although the players were still playing with like, I don't know, because Xabi definitely fucked up the players' form. So I'm not sure. But all I'm saying is that Arbeloa has been in situations where he could have taken advantage of. But I still believe it was the players' fault for like the big losses that he's had. Do you think we'll win La Liga? I think we have a big chance now. Honestly, now that Raphinha went down with injury, we could. Arbeloa is kind of biased towards the academy kids like Fran. I see that, but at the same time, we can't complain because we've been playing good. So, like, I'm not mad about it. There's also been reports, rumors. I'm not going to say it's true or not because I don't know. But there are people saying that Carreras has been drinking too much alcohol, been partying too much, going out to too many clubs. And that's the reason he's not playing that much. I don't know. The Super Cup final hurt me more than Copa del Rey final, and I don't know why. No, I'm not going to lie. Last year, the Copa del Rey final genuinely hurt me so much. Because we were up 2-1. Tchouaméni with that header off the corner. And then we just throw it away like 5 minutes later. Courtois, why did you come out? Why did Courtois come out, bro? Why did Courtois come out? Why didn't Brahim go to the ball when Modric passed it to him? I don't know. We could have won that Copa del Rey. Honestly, last year we actually could have walked away with some silverware. We should have. SPR, when Endrick comes back, you think he's going to be a starter? No, I don't think so. But I think if Arbeloa stays as manager, I think Endrick is going to be in a really good position. Courtois low-key never comes out like that too. Yeah, I know. Thoughts on Bellingham in Copa del Rey final? Oh, I thought Bellingham was amazing that game. I thought Bellingham in Copa del Rey final, that was one of his best performances ever at Real Madrid. He carried us in that second half. He was so good. But yeah, boys, I think that's that. I think I'm going to end the stream here. 100 minutes. Fuck. Stream it, bro. That's a long time. 100 minutes. That's like a whole game plus halftime. But yeah, boys, that's it for me. Peace out. Oh, shit. I just spit out my mint. But yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys. Everyone have a blessed day. And I might be making videos later. It is Joselu's birthday today, so I might make a video on that Bayern game. I think he deserved it. But yeah, that's it, guys. Everyone have a very good day. And hopefully I can stream soon. Again. But yeah.